FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
This is your 3 p.m. news update on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Irma Ratan Singh. Good afternoon. 32 Venezuelan nationals and 1 Trinidadian were held by officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on Saturday. This was confirmed by Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford at today's media conference. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has assured that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is prepared. He was commenting on the anniversary of the 1990 attempted coup where members of the Jamaat al-Muslimin attempted to overthrow the government. He said this will not be allowed to happen again. COVID-19 case number 148 is an Arima delivery driver who was in contact with 8 people at his home, including an SCA student of the Tacarigua Presbyterian Primary School. Principal Medical Officer of Health, Epidemiology, Dr. Naresh Nandram made the revelation while speaking at the Ministry of Health's virtual media briefing on Monday. Dr. Nandram indicated that school has since been ordered to close due to the latest case. These and more stories can be heard on our 4 p.m. newscast. I am Irma Ratan Singh. Good afternoon.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Petersfield Builder Source, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies. Conveniently located in Petersfield, Chaguanas. Come check us out for all your hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies. Telephone us on 232-7495 or 323-0048. Petersfield Builder Source, your #1 hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When I look back on the last 5 years, as a young working mother and wife, I have to say, things were so difficult. Going to the grocery, my salary could have barely made ends meet. My husband lost his job at Petrotrin. Our home is falling apart. We couldn't save. My daughter was born in the time of the UNC. I felt so confident that she had a bright future. God forbid, if this PNM returns, my household will be finished. On August 10th, my unemployed husband and I will be voting for our lives and our future. We will be voting UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canoopia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canoopia.
This is the voice of the PNM. July 29th
Tune in to all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for our community campaign meetup, streaming from St. James, Port of Spain, from 8 p.m.
PNM is the choice.
Feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley as he sets out the national plan for recovery, stability, and opportunity, and a powerful lineup of speakers.
It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police.
On July 29th, tune in, click, like, share, and vote PNM on August 10th. Great is the PNM.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
All will be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won, and we know we will win every time. Just keep the faith, heads up high. We're together in this, you and I. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be won, and we know we will win every time. And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote to protect the treasury. Vote is only Dr. Rowley, the right choice for TNT. PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM only way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police, hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Just about 10 minutes after the top of the hour. Thank you, Irma, for our 3 p.m. news update. And to my good friend Carol Singh for wonderful program presentation. I know you have lots of fans, particularly in the Princestown area, listening in, Carol. Well, it's that day, that grand day today, 27th day of July, a great day in our history, a painful day in our history, I should say, when the Jamaat al-Muslimin coup attempt is marked in our history to overthrow the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Over the course of 6 days, members of the Jamaat al-Muslimin, a radical Islamic group, held hostages, including Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson. The rest is history, in what remains a painful chapter in our history books. We'll be discussing a bit about that. And are we better off today than then? Now, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, the coronavirus case, a 43-year-old delivery driver who has been experiencing symptoms for at least 6 days and came into contact with several people, is of concern to the Ministry of Health. According to Dr. Naresh Nandram, Principal Medical Officer in Epidemiology, the patient was in close proximity to family members, colleagues, and customers. How many times do we hear through various media, through social media, through the radio, television, newspaper, to stay at home if you feel unwell? You have to actually beg Trinidadians to stay at home. Then there's this issue with Stuart Young taking praise for uncovering a Trinidadian ring involving human trafficking. Now, I wish to tell folks out there that this is not new or any surprise. In fact, 3 years ago, the same guy in studio here, Shiva Parasram, he accompanied me to do a video on how easily it is to enter our borders without customs and excise checking on them. How often they come in for goods and supplies at a time when they were not overstaying in Trinidad and Tobago. How hundreds of them come in and out and goes unchecked. So this is not a new matter. Perhaps Minister Young is now waking up from his slumber, like the classic fairy tale Sleeping Beauty. He needs to wake up and step up on his act. He's, after all, the Minister of National Security, responsible for securing our borders. Then it's 13 days to go before that big day, and the People's National Movement and opposition leader of the United National Congress, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Visesa, they both have expressed satisfaction with the Guardian Media poll commissioned. The result, which was published yesterday. However, with 2 weeks to go before voters cast their ballots, to me it is worrisome that 16% of the respondents said that they are still undecided, and 11% have indicated that they will not vote. That is of major concern. What will determine who holds office for the next 5 years? What determines who has the cutting edge between Dr. Keith Rowley and Mistress Kamla Persad-Visesa? Who determines either the race is too close to call? As former Prime Minister Basta Upande said, an election winner can only be determined on election day. And earlier this afternoon, the sorter was finally turned at the Grand Chimay Port, that's out in Moruga, to start that grand fishing facility, which was promised years upon years ago. I can't tell you how many dozens of times I have done stories with the suffering of the fishermen out there when they are neglected and they do not have a facility to bring in their boats and to see about their catch and have an export facility, etc., etc. We'll go into some detail of that with the Moruga Fishing Facility. That and much more. I see political scientist Indira Sajiwan Maharaj Ali have written about equity, if there's any equity in election, and she spoke about agriculture and how many times both red and yellow, and their mixed color when they were the People's Partnership Government, how many times they have promised again and again to boost agriculture, and up to today they have not. It's an article she wrote, Democracy of and for a Few. She is doubtful that it's government of the people, by the people and for the people. She describes that as a myth. I will attempt to reach Dr. Indira Sajiwan Maharaj if I can get her on this program. I've been trying to contact her. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, you can also call me in on 636-7547, 227-5739, like this caller here. Good afternoon and welcome to Politics 2020.
Good evening. I'm just reminiscing on what you were talking about in 1990 coup.
Yes.
And, I remember I was just doing A-levels back then. I went out that Friday evening. My father called me by my auntie, told me to take the car and get home now. And I remember just looking at it because I was doing history at A-level, and at around that time, we were trying to trace the origins of why so many rebellions took place in the Caribbean, when you look at the historical context. And you can remember back there, I remember waiting because I thought like what's going on with COVID exams would have been postponed or something would have happened, because we were writing our last exam not too far after. And I remember you remember Dennis Makomi? He used to be on Dave Elcock used to be on 610 back then.
610 back then, yes.
Yeah, when you get up in the morning by 10 past 6, when they play Dave Elcock.
At exactly 1 minute past 6, you would hear Dave Elcock voice.
And then 10 past
That was my cue to get off the bed. Don't let him finish, say good morning, and you're on the bed. It's trouble.
It's trouble. And then 10 past 6, we hear One Day at a Time by Lena
Yes,
Martel.
of course.
So I know when my father started the car, is well, right, you had to be downstairs for a certain hour because he had to get to work. And Dennis McCormick, I remember it was his 1st of August. I was up studying and he came out and he said he's going to play this song, Kevin Campbell, tomorrow. And it was like, and he said, the coup is over, finally. Whatsoever what they had done. And yesterday I was telling my son, he was asking me, why did the Imam walk? How come he's out and thing? I said, well, I was explaining about Imran Carter, the former president, and the amnesty, and trying to explain. And he said, wow. He said, imagine that after 30 years, some people have not been brought to justice.
You can't. And the memories would always be there, It's a painful part of our history. I remember looking at the television and seeing a gun being held over the head of Dominic Calipesade.
Yes.
On TTT.
And I don't know if you remember, Jones P. Madera had to take over the broadcasting because Dominic he froze. He said,
well, he would be. There was a gun over his head.
Was very upset. Abu Bakr said, my name is not Abu Bakr, it is Abu Bakr. And Dominic just froze. I looked at the whole thing, I followed it. And then Mr. Madera came on and he spoke. It was really one of the darkest days in the history of the country. But my son, I want to leave this today. You know what he told me? He said he's doing A-levels now. He said, Dad, you mean to tell me this is the only country they say these kind of things, people do crime and they walk away. And up to this day, he said, I'm not doing law, He said, I'm not going to do law because it's better stay in the science field. I said, well, I could understand. But if you get a chance, if ever, I know these times right now very hectic. If you get that song tomorrow by Kevin Campbell, and you have a chance to play it, I'll appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. 636-7547, 227-5739. We also have a WhatsApp number, 378-4975. If you have memories of that day on July 27th, you can call me. Call me and let me know where were you, what were you doing at that time on July 27th when there was a coup 30 years ago. We're speaking about the Moruga port, about latest COVID-19 case, and how this driver was in contact. That is sad, eh? You're not feeling well. The person was told to go and get tested and quarantine himself, and he refused to do so. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Anne.
Hi.
That day I remember I was pregnant, and my belly was so big. And I remember, this, you used to have younger wrestlers showing over on Channel 4.
Yes.
I would turn on my TV to listen to it. And I hear this man saying, ladies and gentlemen, we have now taken over the country, and I hear they had all the big guns put out there, and when I told my cousin to watch the TV, she said, oh my God, everybody was so frightened, and my family and them, everybody started to go over by one another to give each other company. But one thing, the beat car never went. It never went. I was happy about that. I was able to keep my radio on for all the days. I was able to keep my radio on.
Which area was this you were located?
Enterprise, that's in Miss Famba here.
Yes, I know, but I don't know which area. Enterprise, right.
So my son was in my belly that day.
Let me ask you something, since you're from Enterprise.
Yes.
The holder of the coup, Mr. Abu Bakr, he said that he have reduced and is responsible for reducing crime in Enterprise. Is that true?
I don't think so.
Why would you say so? Crime is still existent?
Yes, it is. And there's a place, where Robocop had a place, right? It's still here in crime. People are still afraid. When people hear the name Enterprise, they don't want to come. They're so
it haven't made a difference then?
No.
Okay, I said I'll ask you because you are from the area. Okay, thank you, Miss Mamba.
being blind, right? I can hear the people talking on the road in the street, but I mean where I live is very quiet and nicer, but out there, it is terrible.
Yes, I know.
When
Thank you.
people get the prices straight to come.
Take care. We have a little distortion in the conversation there, but you could always call us back. Nicole, what were you doing on July 27th?
And I'm a bit too young to say.
Too young, okay.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. On that day, I was finishing up a cake for somebody's birthday.
That birthday party probably crashed.
Well, it so happened that young lady is celebrating her birthday today.
Wow.
So every year when on this date, you remember two things, the coup and her birthday.
Right.
So we were finishing up this cake, and it was like a set of young people together, brothers and sisters, and we were finishing up this cake. So the TV, we put on the TV. I saw a little display going on. It's a local play. Then we realized it's serious business. They grabbed the cake and they run because they were living nearby. And that everybody was so scared after that, But this day, whenever this person's birthday come around, we always remember that day, the coup. That is my memory.
Yes, it's a painful day in history.
Amen, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
636-7547, 227-5739. If you wish to get onto the program on any of the matters that I've introduced. So finally, Nicole, that project in Grand Chemay
Yes.
sort of been turned.
Yes, it has been turned.
After all my years in journalism, I've always been hearing that there's a port coming in Moruga. There's a port. It took so many years before it finally arrived. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. I just came from the South Turning in Moruga.
Very well.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes. It was quite an event, man.
You must be very proud.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's a very important project in the bigger scheme of things, right? When you look at the fact that the economy has to diversify and the fact that Moruga is one of the biggest fishing areas in the country, it only serves the community right.
Yes,
of course.
So it is not... let me just take out the politics from this project for a minute. It's a very important project for the development of the community, the development of the people, and the development of the country.
For the development of agriculture.
Yes, that's right. So I just want to congratulate the people of Moruga. I look forward to working with them. I look forward to forming a partnership with people inside here, and we could, do this job in a harmonious way, bring it to the fruition in the timeline it was set out to be done in. And as long as people know it's all for the benefit of themselves, I'll be more than happy to work with them.
One thing before you leave, while this project is ongoing, would it provide some employment for the residents
there? Yes, it definitely will. Well, let me tell you something. Balu Engineering, wherever area we're going to work, we look at first and foremost the community. All right? Our intention is once we can get what I would like to consider the common construction services within the area. For example, I'm talking about the typical mason, the typical carpenter, the typical block laying, steel bending works. All my potential labor in that area, I will take from there.
Very well.
When are you going to start this project?
I am going to start the project first week of August, please God. Once everything has already been approved, go ahead, contract signed. So we are in the process of mobilizing and getting started.
Wonderful.
All right. So
how is the weather? How is the weather up there right now as we speak?
What is the what?
How is the weather?
Well, it's a bit overcast here. The rain is falling in between, so we're getting some rain and some overcast weather.
Okay, thank you and take care and be safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, that is a report live from Moruga Grand Chemay there. It's a bit overcast. I'm sure both parties must still be campaigning, although it's rainy out there.
Yes.
Nicole. Yes. Call us in on 636-7547, 227-5739. Let us know what you were doing today, 30 years ago. If you wish, you can call in. I was just, Nicole, you said you were too young. I was just about 16 years old. I was writing CXC
I don't want to
exams.
say how old I
You
was
don't want to say,
because
I
people
realized
will know.
that. I was writing CXC exam, actually.
Yes.
That is how I remember. Hello, good afternoon.
The honorable ladies.
Good afternoon.
Nicole.
Yes.
How are you all?
We are great. How are you?
I am good.
Nice.
On that famous day, 27, 1990, I was going to football. And it so happened that after having the bottle in the car with the cooler, at Trinidad was playing Grenada, I had to go home straight, and I enjoyed it at home.
Right.
Until I realized what happened. Eventually, was 24 or 29 lives were lost.
26.
26, and
Yes.
nobody since this day, we still haven't heard from the man who committed that heinous act. And he recently was in the office of the Shagona West MP. Sorry, not the Shagonas West, the Diego Martin West MP, who was negotiating for his son to be contesting Port of Spain South, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
So that tells you how this country basically is managed. That tells you the governance of this country. But more importantly, I want to talk about Clarence Rambarat. He's campaigning and giving out seeds. I'm hoping that he makes sure he give everybody 4 marijuana seeds. You're volume? Huh?
Really?
What do you think?
In Chaguanas East?
Well, yeah, it's all over the place. The thing is, in Moruga Tableland, the fellow who sing Captain in Ship and Sinking, you know what he's telling the people and them? You all should have heard it on the news. They should come together, start up a corporation, apply for a license, a legal license to plant marijuana. We're diversifying the economy. There has to be some sense of urgency in that. You know, remember, a fella, the 43rd descendant, went to Parliament to pass a law and all kind of things like that, and some set of cousins had applied for some sort of, I can't remember what it is, a patent for some sort of emblem, for some sort of marijuana business. You remember that? So we'll see where it goes with that. The captain is not a sinking. Captain, let me plan the marijuana now. No. Let me get to Lieutenant Kuso, a.k.a. Minister of Health. I am hearing that I am not hearing, I've heard, he's saying those parents should keep the child at home if the child is sick. All right?
Yes, they've been pleading with you.
Right. Now, one of those small kids who's eager to do essay went to school, not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and it caused panic in the country. How was that child allowed to stay in class? What protocol the Ministry of Health and the Minister of Education has for those SCA students? Are the teachers properly trained to screen those students? Do they know how to operate those thermal devices? Do they know where to put it on one's forehead? Do they know how to calibrate that? I think they should have also employed an OSHA person to be in school to facilitate all of this. They are not doing it properly, you know. And I think I have mentioned to you all, and it's 2 weeks ago it was still happening. When I walked into the flagship organization of Trinidad and Tobago Medical Institution, they pointed the thermal thermometer at my chest, and I raised my hands. I said, "Well, we're going to call Gary." And I wrote to everybody that I could do. I wrote to the CMO, I wrote to the CEO, I wrote to the Prime Minister, I wrote to the Minister of Health. I said, you all are not really taking this thing serious. You know, 2 weeks after I went back, and no corrective action was done. the same thing. They put it by my chest again. And I went back to the head of one of the senior person in college. I say, only do this thing proper now. It is disgusting that the flagship company has not gotten it right. I went to another place to buy some bread and things and cakes and things. And the security did the same thing. They don't know how to use the equipment. They were taking the thermometer, the temperature of a gentleman who walk with the shades on. You can't do that. You have to put it close to the space between your nose and your two eyes.
Well, they are not trained. They are not properly trained.
And you can't take it where there is ambient current, a breeze. So that's simple protocol. If you don't do it properly, you must. That is an activity must be value added. So you're doing the activity to get a value out of it, and that is mean screening the temperature of everybody to see if the likelihood exists that person has the flu. Because you go inside there and Sahara does hit you and you sneeze in front of everybody. It ain't saying that you have it, because if you take a proper temperature check, you're going to realize it's a sneeze from the dust and they allow it to go in. I am so annoyed how this Ministry of Health is managing this situation. A temperature check is a critical physical activity you need to do to screen. You understand? And I don't want to talk to the Venezuelan open border people who coming in, because to me, as a small fry in the whole thing, it tells me we have spread. And if we have spread, we have to see where it's coming to. And if all our borders have holes, who coming through the holes? Which set of people? I say no more.
Okay, thank you. 636-7547-2275739. Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon to the two ladies there.
Good afternoon.
Now, let me state, in 1990, I was a student at London University in England. And at 8 o'clock in the night, 800 Greenwich Mean Time, which is 4 o'clock in Trinidad, my sister gave me a phone call and told me what was going on with Abu Bakr.
Mm-hmm.
And my first reaction was, where's the army? Why didn't the army take them on and wipe them out once and for all? And, and there was no answer. And that is the mistake the government made, and especially Mr. Dukaran. They're negotiating with these people. And today, these people now, you have, as I say, the apple don't fall far from the tree. And you have the young son now making a hell of a lot of noise here. And there are certain radio stations and TV stations want to interview this young man. I don't know why they are giving this young man exposure when his father has not apologized for the number of people who died there in 1990. And not only that, they have occupied state lands in Mokorapa and built a school and a mosque there. And when they had a commission of inquiry on that there, my friend, who was the chief land valuator for government there, Mr. Kenneth Subran, a personal friend of mine because we used to teach together at Asjac Boys College in San Fernando Park Street. And he told me that those lands, they were illegally occupied. He told the commission of inquiry. And yet up to this day, the UNC government, the PP government, the PNM government have not reclaimed those lands. They put up a wall there, and the Muslim India broke it down. They are flouting the law. And I want to say, let me repeat this, I don't think any radio station in this country should interview that young man there, the son of Abu Bakr, on the thing there, because we should not give these people exposure because they have blood on their hands. I say no more. And by the way, before I go, you there with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Right, the fellow who called just before me and talk about the children and they're not screening them properly there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do thermal checks by putting a device on the forehead to check the temperature, even if the temperature is normal, they could still be a healthy carrier.
They can, yes, you can still be a carrier.
You could still spread it. So it's not the be-all and end-all of it. It will give you an indication, yes. But if you don't have a temperature and you are a healthy carrier, you could still spread it. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. You know, COVID-19 have indicated, Nicole, just how our healthcare workers, how efficient they are.
Yes.
And how much more training that they need.
Of course.
636-7547, 227-5739. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to all the listeners and callers.
Mr. Belmont, yes.
I'm calling from Belmont. I agree with the last caller. He's well up to date. But I'd like to answer the question. I was up Fort George Hill. I don't know if you know Fort George.
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
The flag is up there, right? We were practicing dogs. I used to go up there every evening because we used to mind sheep up on the hill there. And, you know, we used to have one person who used to be exercising. That was Melchior Taylor. He was a boxing referee. And it gradually, as it increased to 2, 3, 20, 30, 40 people in different garbs, and they running up the hill and practicing, and they never come back down the hill. So I never put anything to that, but I find it alarming. So this day now, a Friday, we were practicing dogs, and as we come outside, police. So when the police come now, they say, well, every evening is our fellas will be running up here and so on. Where did us go? Say, well, we don't know where did us go. And that was about 3 o'clock around that time there. Say, well, we don't know where did us go, but they could go up the hill higher and they could come out in a place they call D-Bay or Bellevue, Dundonald Hill. And they never returned down the hill. So the police had a good case that they could have been investigating that influx of people from one man to about 30, 40 men, and they in different garbs, and some of them with masks and all kind of thing. And like the police was slack on that matter. Now, when I come down the hill now, we hear shooting, because we near to TTT house, shooting and this and that. So we got the news. But to add to what Dr. Latron said, when the judge in England said, well, no, the amnesty not good, but it make no sense to charge them again and to waste time and this and that. Well, the government at the time had a right to outlaw what they call the Jamaat. So if you didn't charge them, you should outlaw the organization, and that organization would have been scrapped, and they didn't own any lands at all, and they would have been null. And the politics is a funny thing. Mr. Manning didn't do that, and all the subsequent government didn't do anything. And Dr. Lachman is right. When Mr. Pandey gave them a certain portion of the land, they never leave the other side, and they encroach, and they put up different things, they washing cars, they do all kind of things. And it's very unfair to law-abiding citizens to see that lawbreakers are given the kind of priority. Now, Dr. Rowley now, in an attempt to get back into power, he recognized the school, and he giving them grants, and he giving them that, and he giving them that. I doubt they have any students. Best wishes. You have a good program. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Belmont. Listeners, it's just about 20 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's take a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin Trin City, Endeavour Road, Shigwanas, and Kuva. For quality items, super quality supermarket, and quality cash and carry supermarket.
This is the voice of the PNM. July 29th. Tune into all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for our community campaign meetup, streaming from St. James, Port of Spain, from 8 p.m. PNM is the choice. Feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley as he sets out the national plan for recovery, stability, and opportunity, and a powerful lineup of speakers.
It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police.
On July 29th, tune in, click, like, share, and vote PNM on August 10th. Great is the PNM.
Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia. For all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters, and water pumps. Plus all parts for Gould, Pentax, and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton, and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is a PNM power. PNM, a positive healing power. PNM, moving forward together. PNM, introducing Rishi, my brother.
All of we is one family. All of we is one family. Working together to build this country. When the world was breaking, everyone agreed. When the world was breaking, be happy it was seen. And that is why we voted for our country.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back to Politics 2020. Let us hear this caller here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Anne.
Hello.
Yes, this is due with respect to the opening of the borders.
Yes.
Right? That is not a new event, a new occurrence, I called the station, I think, about 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, and we discussed the issue with respect to the opening of the border in southwest Trinidad, Cedros and Icacos, that area. Nobody took it on. The government and the Ministry of Health and those people who parade every day on stage, they never took on that. They were congratulating themselves with Oxford ratings, right? And they were comparing themselves with Sir Winston Churchill. They fought war and they were successful, right? And I'm saying that people call the station, people discuss that. I am Mr. Ken Ali on your station. I called him, we discussed that whole thing. Other people called and spoke about it. They didn't pay attention to that. All they were concerned with is processing those people who were coming off the boats and people who were returning. That is what they were concerned about. They weren't concerned with closing the border and talk about, somebody calls and talk about OPV and all that. You have the technology, OPV and OPVS, but you have drones and all these different things. You fail to put the Coast Guard vessels down there, put fuel and water and have them patrol the area down there. And now these people may have come in here, right? Because nobody is testing. You close your front door and you open your back door open, and they come in here and they pretending now like that is a recent occurrence. The people been coming all the time. and telling people who to see. That is what you should have been doing 3 months ago. And therefore, you may have people maybe asymptomatic, and they came in here, they're going to work in grocery, they're going to work and they have little communities there. They may be in the communities, right? And you could have this spread. You have people driving the taxis and whatnot, and, Venezuelans travel too, right? I have nothing against the Venezuela, because but the point I'm making here is that if people are under pressure, if they are experiencing difficulty and challenge in life, they would always migrate to places where they believe they could improve
It's just
their
like what
condition.
Trinidadians do in New York.
Right.
They migrate to New York and Canada to work.
But the point about it here is that you can't tell me you close down border. You don't want your own people to come in where you would process them, put in place, activate the protocols and ensure that they quarantine and step down. But you leave the borders exposed. You're in business with that. They ignored it for 3 months.
Of course they did.
They ignored it. They paid no attention.
More than 3 months. It have been years now that the borders have been open and the Immigration and Custom Department have been non-functional.
I remember this gentleman from Saudi Council have been calling and talking about these people and nothing. The health center, they closed down. No testing taking place. And what is worse now, I don't know with this community. No, this is the test, The test in terms of management COVID is now in the community. It's not when people come out of a boat or a plane and you put them and you process them and you put them, It's when you have a community spread. Like you see what happened in New York and England and Spain and all this. It was community where you have to track, you have to trace and all these different things, testing and increase your state. That is the test to determine how well you're able to manage COVID. Right? This is the test. And I'm saying right now, you have taxis and buses and whatnot. Moving people. I see people four in a taxi, 5 in a taxi, maxi pack. So what's now? Even though you have on your mask, but you're not social distancing.
You can still be at risk.
And I am not hearing those people who parading every day insisting that those people taxis revert to the 4 or whatnot and ensure that
four persons in a car. I think so. I agree with that.
But they're not saying that.
Well, the Prime Minister gave them permission that all is well and all is normal, and he did not revert the decision.
But the point I'm making here is that even though you put on a mask, all over the world, everybody they be telling you, even when you don't have a community spread,
you are still exposed.
They were telling you before they reduced it. Now you have a community spread where people are all in Marvels, all about in Arima. You sitting on by somebody, next to somebody, there's no social distancing there, you could contract the virus. So I'm saying that they're not taking the steps to ensure that the population is protected to prevent the spread of this thing.
You're right. You're absolutely
That's
right.
a serious issue, and I hope somebody will take up that because it is in the community
Well, I think
now.
the Minister of Health they need to be more serious on the social distancing issues, and in terms of taxis and maxis, revert back to the
Buses
amount
and
of
all these
people.
things,
Yes.
revert back, because I am saying we in perilous times because it is in the community, and nobody knows who has it or who is asymptomatic, and you have taxis with 4 and 5 people, maxi taxi overloaded, and everybody just going down the road. So what will happen? This thing will wipe out the whole up. It's in the community now. It's locally spread now. And this is serious business, and I'm not hearing them emphasizing that.
Well, sir, people like you need to call in and speak out about it.
Well,
all we can do is call for it. I hope that the government, someone from the Ministry of Health is listening.
Yeah, and I'm saying also to people have to speak truth to power, because I hear some people on radio station defending those nonsense. When people call and they talk about it, they always have an excuse about this and that, and I go deal with that now. And when you call out, we don't hear when we talk about that. People have to be able to speak truth to power, regardless of what your interest is in terms politically, where your alliance is. There are things that you must take a stand for, and this thing we don't know who could be affected and who whatever it is. But I'm saying that is a presenting danger. Thank you.
Of course, thank you, sir. 636-7547 2275739. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Anne.
Yes, hello.
Good afternoon. I don't mind people talking on the radio, but the length of time that man to take to say that simple little thing we want to say. and the previous caller from Diego Martin, I find too much time that they given to these men and them. And people who want newcomers who want to come
Yeah,
into
well, when they're making a point, I don't want to cut them off, you know.
No, but they have to make it at a shorter period of time. They could explain themselves. But that man say one thing about 10 times in that circumstance. Let me study, right? What I want to say is that I listened by switch on the TV yesterday evening, and I was listening to, well, it's gone into the PNM thing where the 2 weeks Prime Minister.
I didn't cut you off, sir. Your call dropped. Call us back 636-7547 227-5739 if you want to speak about the spread of COVID-19, the community spread, and whether or not the Prime Minister should indicate that in taxis and maxis, all public service transport, they should revert back to where they were, having not more than 4 persons in a taxi. Because the caller there before was right. You are jamming up each other. You're wearing a mask and you're still not secured. 636-7547. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
This is Triple D.
Yes, Mr. Triple D.
I could shift my topic from the COVID-19.
Yes, you can speak to any topic you wish on.
Okay. We talk about topic in today's hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that hurricane just 2 days, 6 days ago, a cloud of 2 trees, the amount of money this government has spent in Tobago and make it an issue, 2 blocks, 6 blocks, and you know the history with a hurricane, only 1 for a block and 99 blocks, you know. And the amount of money they would have spent for this issue due to election, I don't believe what had happened. And that money would have gone in certain people's pocket. I am calling in, but the bottom line is, that's how it is in this and Tobago. The day a man can make a generous country, I have the best. For any cost time. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. 636-7547 in case you have missed our number. 2275739 or WhatsApp us your message on 3784975. You know, Nicole, I was looking at this poll here, and we're voting on racial lines. You know, that is something very difficult to stop. That
Yes.
is how our community
The politics
is.
of the day is,
Yes, it is. It's difficult. But what concerns me even more is the number of disenchanted voters we have. The number of young people that just do not care who take office for the next 5 years.
Mhm.
Let's take this caller here. Good afternoon.
Yeah, and I get cut off here just now.
Yes, I didn't cut you off, eh?
I know, I'm a permanent director.
Go ahead.
You know what happened? I listened to the TV last. I just switched it on because I come home and I just switched it on and it was on the PNM. The 2 weeks Prime Minister again having office for this country was speaking. And what was distasteful was to hear him announce of some of the leaders that passed before the Prime Minister. And you know who name in that list had called last? And Ken Valley and them name was in the middle of that part of that conversation. And Mr. Patrick Manning, disrespectfully, called that man name last. I wonder if the people in the PNM listen to that and Manning family listen to that. Very, very disrespectful. Have a good day.
Thank you. 636-7547 2275739, where we welcome all views. UNC, PNM, multicultural. We welcome all views. All views. We are multicultural
That's
radio.
right.
All views are welcome. You know, some people say I give Eric too much time to talk, but we welcome all views here, right? Now, political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath was of the view that the poll result was still not a clear reflection on who will win. It's a tight race, eh? Nicole,
Yes.
the polls are showing that it's neck on neck. It's very, very tight. What will determine who will win? I was wondering that. Will it be those voters who are disenchanted and may come out at the last minute? What will it take to convince those voters, hey, to come out and vote, that my vote counts, it makes a difference? Let's hear this caller. Good afternoon.
Pleasant afternoon.
Hello, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, pleasant afternoon, ladies.
Yes, welcome.
You know, all this Saturnian thing will come up north.
Why do you say so?
10 years from now, they will do nothing.
Well, the project is about to start.
Yes, all the project about to start. The one for San Fernando West, if you follow forest projects, everything started in July, and the election is on the 10th of August. So what could they do? They only just turning started. That is a camouflage. PNM noted for that over the years. And they're using all the money that they borrowed for the election campaign. If you all listen to all the advertisements and the way they're going about, and Camille gets on the TV talking about all the hampers and the food card, and how many people get in it. The needy not getting it. Only dear people getting it. And the 1990 is a very sad thing to think about.
What were you doing on that day?
Well, that day I found out because normally I would put on the TV early in the afternoon. And I saw it on the TV. And I'm going to look at it for 2-3 minutes. I realized it was Port of Spain. So I live in South. And I called up for my brother's home because he works in the heart of Port of Spain, my big brother. And thank God he answered the phone. I was so relieved. He said he left that day. It was a Friday, was it not?
Yes.
Right. He said he left Port of Spain just before 3. So he got out of everything. I was so thankful. And all the other family members who didn't know, we tried to notify them. But you know what happened after? People suffered a lot for food.
Yes.
Spain had no food.
Mm-hmm.
Few days, people from South had to take food up to the Caroni Bridge to meet family and friends. To give them food because they couldn't get food in Port of Spain to buy. Who couldn't make it to Chaguanas, flyover, came down there and collected food. That went on for days. It's so sad.
Indeed, it's a painful part of our history.
To see these people still walking about who caused all this wickedness in the heart of the city.
Okay, thank you. 6367547. Let's see if we can stick in a last caller here before the 4 p.m. newscast, major newscast coming up at 4 p.m. on Politics 2020, U975 FM. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Belmont here again.
Yes, Mr. Belmont.
I want to highlight something, right?
Quickly, we have to go to news.
Last night I noticed while the PNM virtual meetings were going on the other stations, on Channel 7, which is the government station, you know, it was going on towards us democrats, and I cannot understand how they can use government, which is the taxpayers' facilities, to carry these sort of political discussions and ask to vote and use it as if it's a private thing that they're paying for. This is not fair to the balance of the population, because look how many political parties there are. They would perhaps envy the PNM alone on the Channel 7, and they will want to get on to those same channels, and it is not right. And I believe they are using the state funds for campaigning, and it is not right, and they don't want foreign observers for whatever reason, and all the rest of it. Thank you. Sorry to take so long. Best wishes. You have a good program.
Thank you, Mr. Belmont. It's time for us to get to the 4 p.m. newscast now on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. Politics 2020 continues after.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need assistance, dial your operator. Please.
Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 4 p.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Rajan Singh. Good afternoon. Police Commissioner Gary Griffiths said there is a major leak in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. He revealed this information at a media conference earlier. Commissioner Griffiths said a file was sent to his office from the office of the DPP in an outgoing investigation. According to him, the envelope was sealed, but the contents of the documents were revealed in a newspaper report.
That is called that will cause these leaks. Because if there's a major leak in the office of the DPP, it means that it can very well affect any investigation by getting media sensationalism deliberately assigned by individuals who may have links inside the DPP's office that can affect an investigation.
The latest case of COVID-19 is a man from Arima. This, according to Principal Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Naresh Nandram. He made the disclosure at today's media conference hosted by the Ministry of Health. Dr. Nandram said one of the persons who came into contact with this man was a Standard 5 student of the Tacarigua Presbyterian School.
One of the children is an SCA student at the Tacarigua Presbyterian School. During the course of last night, we've been in contact with the principal of that school and have advised that the school that be closed, and we're in the process of contact tracing the students and their families.
Dr. Nandram said, despite being ill, the man went to work where he would have come into contact with more persons.
What ended up happening is this individual went to work, and we are in the process of testing everyone at work that he's been in contact with this morning. And in addition to that was a delivery driver, and there's several other companies that we have contacted and will be continuing to liaise with regard to testing persons that may have been exposed.
Just last week, another Standard 5 student was affected, this time at a school in Maraval. Officials say the Tunapuna-Piako Regional Corporation's offices were closed for cleaning on Monday. We understand that the staff were called this morning and told not to come in because the building was being sprayed. Chairman of the corporation, Kwesi Robinson, told reporters the corporation had moved up a scheduled sanitation session because of an incident with one of the workers. The main building in the Centenary Street, Tunapuna. Robinson said the corporation has been scheduling routine sanitation sessions since the first case of COVID-19 was reported. 32 Venezuelan nationals and 1 Trinidadian were held by officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on Saturday. According to reports, officers of the TTCG spotted a pirogue in the vicinity of the 3rd Boca Chaguaramas at around 4:36 on Saturday evening. A chase ensued, and shortly after the vessel was intercepted near Shakachakari Islands. Upon bringing the vessel to a halt, TTCG officers observed 2 persons swimming to the shore. Officers of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service also responded and mounted a search for the suspects, however it proved futile. The 32 migrants were taken to Stobbles Bay, where they were medically examined and transported to the Chaguaramas heliport, where they will undergo 14 days quarantine. This was confirmed by Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford at today's media conference. Regionally, the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security is hosting its inaugural virtual security conference. The 5-day event has started today and will end on Friday. It is being held under the theme Securing Our Caribbean Community Within the Era of COVID-19 and Beyond. The security conference will bring together security experts, government officials, academics, private sector representatives, and civil society officials. Together, they will discuss the challenges, impact, and implications of COVID-19 on Caribbean security. Internationally, France's government has announced new environmental measures, including a ban on heated terraces for cafes and bars. Ecology Minister Barbara Pompili said outside heating or air conditioning was an ecological aberration. The ban will not come into force until after the winter, as restaurants have been hard hit by COVID-19, she added. All heated or air-conditioned buildings open to the public will also have to keep their doors closed to avoid wasting energy. Ms. Pompili told reporters it was wrong for shops to air-condition the streets in summer by keeping their doors open just to spare customers from having to open them. And on to the weather report for this afternoon. Trinidad and Tobago will be partly cloudy to cloudy with showers in varying localities. There is a 40% chance of showers becoming heavy and thundery in a few areas. Tonight would be mostly settled with a few lingering showers. Gusty winds and street and flash flooding may accompany heavy showers and thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate with waves 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Current temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. High tides at 9:48 p.m. and sunset at 6:30 p.m. And that brings us to the end of the 4 p.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 6 p.m. for major news. I am Irma Ratan Singh wishing you a good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Petersfield Builder Source, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies. Conveniently located in Petersfield, Chaguanas. Come check us out for all your hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies. Telephone us on 232-7495 or 323-0048. Petersfield Builder Source, your #1 hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When I look back on the last 5 years, as a young working mother and wife, I have to say, things were so difficult. Going to the grocery, my salary could have barely made ends meet. My husband lost his job at Petrotrin. Our home is falling apart. We couldn't save. My daughter was born in the time of the UNC. I felt so confident that she had a bright future. God forbid, if this PNM returns, my household will be finished. On August 10th, my unemployed husband and I will be voting for our lives and our future. We will be voting UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
This is the voice of the PNM. July 29th, Tune in to all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for our community campaign meetup, streaming from St. James, Port of Spain, from 8 p.m. PNM is the choice. Feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley as he sets out the national plan for recovery, stability, and opportunity, and a powerful lineup of speakers.
It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the Bali's.
On July 29th, tune in, click, like, share, and vote PNM on August 10th. Great is the PNM.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, for Talk Your Talk. Talk Your Talk.
Just about 12 minutes after the top of the hour, welcome back to the studios of 975 FM on Politics 2020. And thank you to Shiva Parasram for having us live on YouTube on RCL U975. If you missed us or any part of this program, you can retain it there. Hello, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, and
hello.
This is a general statement for all creed and race. And I'm saying this because in all political parties, we have every different creed and race supporters. But I want to let them know that for the past 5 years, all sufferation that they suffer will get the result of this election. And if they really want to suffer more, let them take that. And if they really want to suffer, let them go and vote.
Caller, engage with me a little bit. Do you think voting along racial lines will be easy to stop?
No, I'm not saying this is a racial line of voting. I'm saying that the people of Trinidad and Tobago have passed 5 years under this PNM government. Every time the PNM government in office, you see everything just going to a negative point. And you know what? Supporters of the PNM, it could be African, it could be Indian, it could be Chinese, who in that party never downgraded them. They always stay with them. But when you hear the opposition, something go wrong. Even the opposition people who is there bringing down the opposition people too. So I want them to understand that if they like this operation, let them continue to vote the PNM and stay right here. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Well, let me just say that political analyst Dr. Winford James, he believes that voting along racial lines boils down to several basic factors. The major one being that people trust politicians who are of the same race as their own. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Chris.
And the virus is now with our local population. And chances are it came from across the Gulf of Paria.
Could be anywhere.
We have 12 boats, 12, that could secure that border. And Dr. Ori want to leave it there because the UNC buy it. So he don't care who dead, he don't care who contracted this virus, what happened in people's country. He want to prove a point that UNC buys boat and he use it. If they go market with 5 and 6 people in one apartment, one room, say Marvel, how long will it be before this thing spread like wildfire? If you can't get these boats working to protect the people, leave and let Kamala come and do it. It's time people in this country start wake up and realize that politicians can't hold them to ransom. When the child dead, when a coffin, you go to, hey, Roddy didn't put the boat to work, because Kamala buy it. And then you go and you go, make a nice prayer for Roddy, right? Make a nice prayer for the PNM. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. The poll I was speaking about it's a national poll that was done. It doesn't tell us who is going to win the election. It tells us how many people are dissatisfied or satisfied. It gives an idea of the level of satisfaction or dissatisfaction among the population. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Anne,
and Nicole. I just want to raise an issue that Chris just
mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
why not letting those boats that the former government bought, why not put them on the sea to basically patrol around the clock? If we have people who have been watching international TV and they look at the people who are most likely to be affected, they will see, and I don't want to be discriminatory with my analogy,
Mm-hmm.
the people who live in high density areas. And what I mean by high density, people who live in a household 6, 8, 10, 14, people who are in black communities, in Hispanic communities, because these people have a culture of populating rooms, small areas, homes with 10, 15 people. Those people who have a low income bracket. So those are the people who are going to suffer if we continue to have spread. Now, let us put that in perspective in Trinidad. Where are you going to find those communities? Not there's a prevalence in the East-West corridor. So the same set of people who want to vote for this current government most likely will be the first set of people to be really, really seriously affected. And this government, the Small Pin and Mr. Pip and the AK Lieutenant Kuso, not doing anything to help them. They should be locking down the border so tight that those in their community who support them will not be affected. And people can't see that. They don't watch television. They don't have no devices. They're not go around with these small devices to look at YouTube and BBC News and CNN and MSNBC. They will see what is happening. Look at the high proportion of black people who have died and see where they are living. See what sort of status they have in life, what sort of income thing. Because let's face it, some people in Trinidad could afford to go to a private doctor. The majority of us in Trinidad can't afford to go to a private. We have to go to the public institution. And some of us is 5 in a room, 6 in a room, 6 in a household. So we are basically a
high risk.
High risk, and that is what is showing. These people who pick it up, they're in households of 6 and 8, right? The taxi driver, the previous lady and things like that, and they have to isolate them. You understand? So people look at what is happening and make sure when on August the 10th, make sure you vote for a government who most likely to protect you, because this government is not protecting you. The horse is outside the stable now and they can't pull it back because they were not doing testing. We don't know how prevalent it is in the community. I'm going to have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. We have to also take responsibility for ourselves, for exposing ourselves and not being tested and being ill and going among the community out there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anne.
Hello.
And good afternoon. Do you have me to
I'm here with just Shiva.
Okay. Shiva Parislam?
Yes.
That's the man.
That's the man have us on television. That's right.
That's the CMO family. So the CMO says...
The CMO family. You have him laughing.
You know, I'm telling you, one person putting you on YouTube, and the next person I'm telling you how to get good.
Okay. He's listening to you.
Yeah, so here what happened. So this COVID-19, I don't want to go too much with them because Trinidad and Tobago are very hardy people. They don't listen to nobody. And everybody have an excuse to make for everybody. You see, when the taxi tell them pull 3 passengers, they don't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
People working for 30 years and can't save $1. They don't have no money. They working for 20 years and can't save $1. They don't have no money. And everything is no money, and I had to work, and I had to do this, and I had to go to the workshop, I had to lime, I had to... Everything you're telling people then, they vex with you. They always have some excuse. Let the COVID go ahead, let the COVID go. I'm going to protect myself as much as I could protect myself. And number 2, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yes. Number 2, you have a fellow saying go and vote for our next party except the PNN. Let me tell you something. I vote UNC only days I'm a license. I'm born in my mother belly, I voted UNC. Because my mother voted UNC, my great-grandfather voted UNC. Everybody voted UNC. And what party and whatsoever they were only came land. And they is from Carolina, they used to vote. So I voted for before even born. So the point about it, I am saying that I'm not going to vote for them now. Number one is that I want my land and I want my euro dollars. That's number one. Every time you go to me before the 10th of August, I will vote for you. You had 5 years to give me, you never give me. You went and you say you're going to give me, and you never give me to give somebody else. I don't know. The other point about it is that I listened to some UNC ad, and that really getting to me now. I know that the person who given these people the script to read and to make the ad, the people that who making the ad should think before they make the ad, because the people that do things and sound stupid. So I don't want to go into that ad thing, because I listened to a little child saying something about laptop, not laptop, about gate. And you know, you just stop gate. You know, just stop gate.
No, it's still going on.
Yeah,
it has been drawn down, but it has not been stopped.
The child who made the ad, if you know the child, call the child and tell she's saying the wrong thing, she advises people the wrong thing on the air. The next one talking about so many things that he didn't get and he just 2010 to 2015 because I get all that he wanted. I know how he didn't get it. I did not get no hamper, I did not get nothing from nobody, and I still living, I save a little dollar and I'm still going. I don't know about that. And also, I even see the opposition leader saying that the sun will rise again. But she was telling them which party was set. I want you to tell them the sun will rise again and it will set in Panama. That's what I want you to tell them. And all who listen, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So, partner, I will vote for the PNM if I have to go and vote, because she did not give me between 2010 to 2015, and she did not go and talk to the supporters, the thousands of supporters who were staying in the ESG complex, for she to come and tell them what is happening and why she lost the election, and the people that matter go away like she didn't care nothing about them. That is why I'm not going to vote for she anymore.
Thank you. Let me just recognize this WhatsApp person there listening in. He texted in, he said, Archie, hi Miss Anne and Miss Nicole, good evening. I enjoy your program, but all parties talking about more on racism and nothing about the manifesto and what they are going to do for the next 5 years. Keep up the good work, Archie. Well, Archie, I've been looking out for the manifesto myself, but traditionally, parties have been known to give out manifestos just in a tight race to the election, just about a week or so before that date, which I agree with you. People need to know what is the party plan for the next 5 years. Good afternoon.
And good afternoon.
Hello.
And it's not a personal thing, but that fella like he has something personal, right? But let me tell you something. The best speech I hear since I ever listened to politics in Trinidad and Tobago is the candidate for this place, Labre. The UNC candidate for Labre. When asked by the people what you could do for me, he said, I can't do nothing for you. Or you have to come and help me to get where we want. You cannot, and that's the best man I ever heard in the whole election going on, is what all you could come as the people of that area. What you all could gather and come and let me get what we need here. Not what I don't ask me what I could do. That is a general. If I vote in Labre, because of that speech that gentleman give, I will go. If I got PNM, I done with PNM. I go and vote, because everybody want to promise and nobody else saying let's work towards it as a community. And that is the only man I hear come out when the ground program, the radio 104.7, the ground report was there. He tell them, he say, I'm not giving you nothing because I cannot give you anything. Come, let me work together. Praise the same. I hope he win that seat.
Thank you, caller. 636-7547. Listeners, call me in and tell me, what do you wish for the general election? Do you think voting on racial lines is hard to stop in this country? It has been typically shown by the poll that was done by The poll was done by HHB and Associates, which is the same company that did a poll during the 2015 general election, and their predictions were accurate. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Ann.
Hi, could you lower the volume on your radio, please?
Yeah. Do you remember 1990?
Yes, I can. I was writing CXC exam.
Yeah, all right. Well, that day was a very auspicious day for me.
What were you doing on that day? Where were you?
That day I was cooking 150 pounds of flour.
Oh my.
For a matikul.
Oh, wedding.
Yeah, and I now cook 1 kula roti.
Uh-huh.
And the thing come across, the flash come across. And the flash say, trouble in tongue.
So did you complete cooking? Did you complete cooking your roti, or you had to halt it?
Roti for wedding, man. For wedding, big matikul, man.
Did the wedding was cancelled?
No, the wedding gone too. When it take place out, 10:30, and by the time 12:45, the wedding gone.
Right.
Yeah, it was a fast wedding.
So you get to complete cooking your roti?
Yeah, we call the cooking roti. You had to say it all the people, get them packed. Yeah, they're going to drop it by the house of them.
Which area was this?
It was in Esperanza, girl.
Esperanza, okay.
Yeah, I remember that very good. The first school out here, I don't cook the same. Who take over and for a Spain building burning down you. Yep. They had to cook fast. People like eat and thing and run away. The other night was, when they go there, stay whole night. You can't move. Because police coming on the throat. And it's long gone. What am I seeing that kind of police? They're ugly. Oh, Lord, Father. But we don't have the ugly side of the police, you know.
So,
for election time.
Yeah.
For election. And anything like that is problem.
Mr. Esperanza, do you still cook roti?
Now you're hang out with boot girl. Doctor, me hang up.
Okay.
That's how to get some problems and things. And obviously, doctor, he said time to wrap up now. Yeah, you had enough. So I hang up, man.
All right. Thanks for calling.
My name is Mia.
Mia?
I one of Mukesh's best friend.
Okay, Mia?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the upcoming elections? Do you think that the voting on racial lines will stop?
No, that will never stop.
Why?
That will never stop. That will continue right through.
Why do you think so?
The way they're acting in Tongni, you heard them acting.
You think each party has their own particular race that supports them?
Yeah, they had their own race and everything. Everybody had their own race, man. Nobody that thing. Everybody had their own race. What about the CMO? Wait for the COVID. How he behaving? You ever go to classical singing? You ever go to classical singing and what when the songs are singing? Either what is your man to the eye? When the drop, when the cut, when the raise?
I can't answer. Yeah, I'm here and I can answer that. I don't know where the CMO is.
Yeah, what classical singing going on? The drama, the songs are hard what the drama. Hard what in the eye. And he will give him eye where the cut, where the drop, with the raise.
You're saying that the CMO is being controlled?
Yeah, that is the CMO. He had, when he talking, he had to watch the minister. And he had what the security police before he talk. Watch him good when he talking.
All right,
you know what straight and see when he's talking.
All right, thank you. I can't say that. This chief medical officer is supposed to be an independent person. I can't say that he says what the Minister of Health want him to say. I have no evidence of that. If you have evidence of that, bring it on board. Let us take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will go more into dealing with this poll and the voting along racial lines. And what is even more disturbing, as I indicated, is the fact that there are 40% of the voters who do not care who runs the next government. Well, let us take a quick call before we take a break. Hello, good afternoon.
And you recall the statement George Chambers made in 1981?
Which statement
Not
is
a
that?
damn seat for them.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what he was saying? Let me tell you what George Chambers said. George Chambers wasn't talking about a party, you know. George Chambers was saying, hey, here what's going on. It have two tribes here. The Indian tribe and the African tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not with one of those tribes, you ain't going in that parliament. You're in a damn seat in that parliament if you're not with one of those tribes. So said, so done. What happened? The Quran come, try the same thing. Not a damn seat for you either. If you don't join with one of the race party, you're not going to sit in that parliament. The only man who ever did a different that was Jack Warner. I'd like to see Jack Warner do it again. But this country, the people, it's not a politician. I do not blame the politicians at all. People get the government they deserve. Every politician know that this is what they vote for me. I give a hamper. Mm-hmm. And you vote for me? Well, take hamper. Why give you more? I give something else and somebody come and give a hamper and you vote for them, you know. The people of this country, we have this country where it is. We have the politicians dancing us around the place, doing what we want to do. And this COVID thing with these Venezuelans right now, and not using those votes, are waiting to see 1 month from now what our situation will be in this country. And I tell you something, you know, 1990 was a joke. What I see coming up the road here, 1990 would have been a joke. Let them play with the people of this country. This country has a history of revolution, you know. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. 33 minutes before the top of the hour. Let us take a short commercial break. And when we come back, you can continue to call in. Our calls keep coming in, but we have we have ads to play. Join us back on Politics 2020, also live on RCL U975.
Following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is a PNM power. PNM, a positive healing power. PNM, moving forward together. PNM, introducing Rishi, my brother.
All of we is one family. All of we is one family. Working together to build this country. When the world was breaking, everyone agreed. When the world was breaking, we happy it was seen. And that is why we voted for our country.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
This is the voice of the PNM. July 29th. Tune into all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for our community campaign meetup, streaming from St. James, Port of Spain, from 8 p.m.
PNM is the choice.
Feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley as he sets out the national plan for recovery, stability, and opportunity, and a powerful lineup of speakers.
It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the Bali's.
On July 29th. Tune in, click, like, share, and vote PNM on August 10th. Great is the PNM.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
That was a paid political announcement.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, for Talk Your Talk. Talk Your Talk.
Minutes before the top of the hour. Today, Monday, the 27th day of July. Painful day in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, our twin island republic. Let us say good afternoon to this caller. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Ann.
Hello, welcome.
I called to tell you about a speech I hear Mr. Rowley say yesterday.
Yes, you like the speech?
I enjoy it. It had me. That speech make me laugh every minute. Only laughing. People must feel like going mad. He said.
You thought it was Errol Fabian or what?
Oh God! He should have been in that show. He said, if you go and put those people back there, we can't lock up nobody. He said to put back the UNC there. Them wouldn't be able to lock up anybody. So I didn't know he running a security service now in the country to lock up people. Every minute I remember what the man said, I only have to laugh all the time. How this man turning his supporters stupid, so you have 5 years there. Once I was in the head office and this young lady was saying he wouldn't have jail to put them. He said they wouldn't have jail to put these UNC people. Now he ready to get out here, lock up nobody more than Lugan what he put a case on here and have it on hold. Oh, he telling his supporters and them, if you only put them back there, them can't lock them up again. So what he was doing for 5 years, that is the joke I called to give you.
All right, how is everything else?
Everything all right.
You getting your medication and so on?
I just buy the medication and the $1,000 what Kamla give me, that go a long way. And it wasn't for that money. And I fixed the little downstairs I had, and My granddaughter does rent it and give me a 400 a month. If it wasn't that, I telling you, I would have to go and beg. Is that does help me to buy me little medication because you know blind I just have to everything I had to do I had to pay somebody to go and do it for me. So I must know my position. Because I live on a hill and the children and them don't want to come on the hill. They will call and send the thing down the hill, so I have to have a little and try to run for it, and I'm going good. I prefer to stay by myself because when I stay by myself, I could support who I want to support. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you and have a good evening. 636-7547 2275739 to get into the discussion on Politics 2020. We are speaking about the community spread of COVID-19 and how careful our citizens are. And we're also speaking on this day, the 27th day of July, the anniversary of our 30th anniversary of the coup in Trinidad and Tobago. We are also speaking about that election, which is just about 13 days away. That's right, it's just about 2 weeks away. And just note that today is the final day. If any CARICOM or any observers are to enter the country, today is the final day because they will have to be quarantined. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Anne.
Yes, welcome.
Well, yeah, thank you. With respect to the anniversary of the coup,
yes,
I remember that day, well, clearly, I was at work and we got the news of the taking over of the parliament. And to be honest, well, I was anti-NAR, right?
Right.
And I was, to be honest, I felt a sense of gladness.
You
And,
probably say, well, it's good for them.
Yes, right.
I know that attitude, yes.
Right, yeah. And, well, I continued working over a couple of days. And I remember clearly I came home. And when I entered my house, I met my wife and 3 children. Children were small at the time. And they were like 10 years and so on. And when I entered the house, I said, anyone or all you know if they killed Robinson as yet? No, I'm speaking honestly, eh?
You were so disenchanted with A&R Robinson?
Yes. And
is it for the stern measures he had employed on public servants and so on?
No. I from information I have, it may be information or misinformation, he was the cause for the breakup of the NAR. Some people blame Mr. Pandey.
Right.
But I believe that he was the root cause of the breakup of the NAR. Suffice it to say, a couple of days into the coup, I don't know which day it was exactly, when I heard that while he was under the gun and being told to call off the troops, he said attack with full force.
Yes.
Well, and that changed my whole perception of the gentleman. I said, if this man is willing to put his life on the line, this man is a patriot. And my impression, my whole outlook with respect to Mr. Robinson changed from that day. Suffice it to say, 11 years after, he came and I would say moved diametrically opposite to what he did on that occasion by installing a government that did not have the the popular vote among the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Suffice it to say that the Prime Minister is named based on the party that wins the most amount of seats.
Yes.
No party won the most amount of seats in the 1818. But he had the prerogative to name whoever
he wished to lead.
Yeah.
And that should have been determined by the number of voters.
The popular vote.
Yes, which party had the more voters.
So,
and it was Mr. Pandey.
Yes, and on that occasion, my perception also changed.
It changed again.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I to say he has done a lot for the country. A lot of people.
He remains to be a patriot.
yes. In some people's
In
eyes.
the image of, yes, generally.
In some people's eyes, right?
Yes.
But I'm just speaking out my personal experience.
I am happy to hear that. I would like to hear some more of other people's personal experience and their image when the coup, was ongoing.
Subsequent to the coup, he visited the area where I lived, and I had the honor, I would say at that time, to shake his hand. Yeah.
That is karma.
Yeah. I like, and let me, before I go, I like the mix of the political ads.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Right, yeah.
Hello, caller. People are all over there. They're saying that, listeners, they're saying that I have turned PNM. I have to play whatever ads is on the logs. It's not my choice. Some people on Facebook, Shiva, they are posting up, they say, you have turned PNM, just like the station. I think I am unbiased and neutral. I give everyone a chance to speak. Yesterday, I interviewed the UNC coordinator for the Sandy Grande area. I wonder if they would say I was UNC when I did that. 636-7547, 227-5739. Good afternoon. Hello, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, raise your voice a little bit.
I said that all the man say you don't like Robinson, but all you like Washington Duke. All you like to use people.
Oh. Okay, ma'am, your view is welcome. Everyone has a free choice, freedom of speech. 636-7547, 227-5739. Good afternoon. Hello, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I just want to make a good comment about the president and the apology that Mr. Lennox Phillip gave as an apology for what happened in 1990. Look how long that thing happened.
Yes, it's 30 years.
Yes. And people still, they're looking for apology and they're looking for that, this and that and the other. And Mr. Phillips said his organization has penetrated the government from top to bottom. I don't know if that was a hidden threat or what, but I think we should let that go. Just like how people, kind of forget World War II, we should let this thing go. If at the time the government didn't do what they're supposed to do, we should let it go by now. People got killed, nobody answered for it. And make a carte blanche, forgiveness on the president and all of that. And in the middle of all that, the Army Tribunal, the guy that came from Ghana or somewhere, his people did the same thing there, and I think he told them he had to leave because he had to go to head his country. It's time we forget all this little thing, man. This cuckoo jow thing ain't go. Well, will you keep us separated? Thank you.
Thank you. Continue to call in 636-7547, 227-5739. If you can remember what you were doing 30 years ago on that day, July 27th, which is a very sad day in our history. Call in. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, welcome.
Yes, first time caller here.
Yes, thank you for calling.
Okay, so I was listening to the guy who said with Robinson, and he had his little story. Today is the 27th.
Yes.
I remember my part of it. I was going to school, and I can remember it very clearly. And when this guy did this thing, I am thinking, well, maybe it's a good thing, as you would say, they did at that time. Because, you're young. I would base it on that. Anyway, Abu Bakr is a Muslim guy. And I'm a Muslim as well. And in Islam, the name Abu Bakr is a very weighty name. A very weighty name. He was the closest guy to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what happened with the stuff that Abu Bakr did, if you really check it, and the life he really lived, it can't be compared to chalk and cheese. And as they say, people looking for apology, maybe what he did well. What he did, I think, was wrong. And I don't know how everybody else see it. And you would think that Muslim would support Muslim and this one would support that one. But when you really look at it and we're looking for explanation and apology, and if you really believe in God and in that way, well, God will settle it with him. So we shouldn't really fight up ourselves, as they would say, and look for justice and look for this and look for that. And he did his thing, and he really, I think he really held back Trinidad. And at that time, and he really, I mean, he wrong. Look at what he did. Only judge for himself. Everybody judge for themselves. Look at what he did. And apology wouldn't cut it. Apology just wouldn't cut it. So when we all read the Creator, he will fix the mix, as they would say. So people, don't fight up with the election. You go have election, come election, go. But when we all meet the Creator, he go have a nice mix with it. That's just my take on it.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for calling in. 636-7547, 2275739. Let me say good afternoon to all those who have texted in on WhatsApp on 378-4975. Continue to text us in there. Welcome. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Is this the radio station?
Yes. Politics 2020 is on.
Well, I remember something about this particular date that a number of callers talked but didn't mention it. When Abu Bakr said, attack with full force, there was something placed inside his mouth, and when they took it off, he said that, and he also had a throat infection. What was it that was placed inside his mouth?
You're speaking about A.N.R. Robinson.
Sorry?
You're speaking about the Prime Minister at the time. Hello?
I follow you.
The person who said attack with full force, it is the Prime Minister, A.N.R. Robinson.
Yes, he was the Prime Minister.
Yes.
But when under US, they pushed something inside his mouth for having a forked tongue. And when they take it out, he said attack with full force.
You're asking what it is?
They put inside his mouth. Nobody ain't talking about that. That was my concern.
Okay.
All right, you could investigate that. And it had to be something belongs to a lady who was in captivity right there. Some part of her clothes. Okay, bye.
Thank you. 636-7547 or 2275739. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Me again.
Yes, welcome.
When a man could come on TV and see, and this is the exact word, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has been overthrown. Trinidad and Tobago is now an Islamic republic. When a man could come out of that and see that and still get a pardon or whatever, that tells you what kind of people we have here in Trinidad.
Very forgiving people.
Right.
We are a forgiving society.
Yes. We forget all kind of things here. Billions of dollars go on all this. Yeah, we really forget.
Well, you're a really good lawyer, you know.
Regardless. This is why I have beef with lawyers. They know the person that they defending is wrong like hell. But they still go to defense. You know why? Because that's a high profile case. They bleed the country. They bleed the client's money. That is what it is about. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. 636-7547, 2275739. The talk seemed to have swung with the 30th anniversary of the coup. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Remember, we are also speaking about the PNM and the UNC, both happy with the GML election poll results. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. Both Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and Opposition Leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar have said that they are pleased with the results of the poll. Good afternoon. Hello, welcome. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You are live on the air.
Yes, ma'am. I am calling in connection with the Abu Bakr 1990 coup.
Right.
But what I am saying is that if you wasn't good at that time, you're not good now. So why the sense you're commenting about? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Result into government.
So I'm asking the public, do you think that Trinidad and Tobago is capable of conducting their own free and fair election, unlike Guyana, without international observers? Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I said good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Listen, is this an open forum, or this is particularly pertaining to the coup? I want to have an idea.
The program?
Yeah.
It's a political show, sir.
Okay,
we discuss all political matters.
Okay, well, let me give my view. Listen, this is a program, I think it's one called Hot Like a Chill Out Tomato.
No, Politics 2020.
Okay, Politics 2020. Listen, my issue is, no, I am not a PNM or a UNC. I'm a Trinidadian.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're elected to govern a country and you fail, I don't see color, I don't see race. I will give somebody a chance because I look at it as a failure and say, look, let me give somebody a chance. But then it have what they call the niggers and the coolies, excuse me. But that is a term that people use. But my question is, we don't ever get the Chinese and the whites or so-called whites involved. We don't even know what them. I think they're called the whites, the honkies. But what all the Chinese? We seem to be condemning each other and criticizing each other. We, the Indians and the Africans, live the closest more than any other race. You see more Douglas trend out there than any other type of people. Right? And why it is going to be fighting these politicians and them? They are like ring on finger. Are you with me?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, they are like ring on finger. When I watch all over the world, what have me baffled? The poster people who catching the tail. They're out there on the streets with flag waving, condemning each other for political parties. And at the end of the day, we are all one people, Trinidadians. We not see ourselves that way. And that is our issue. And I'm disturbed about it. I disturbed at the type of people we are. To be honest, I confused and disturbed about the type of people we are. Especially the coolies and the niggers.
So don't use those words when you call in, say Indians or African. Well, I made this point that Trinidadians, they vote along racial lines, and that is something very difficult and hard to stop. Even the political analysts have said so. Hello, good afternoon.
The speaker. What was topic you were talking about?
I'm asking callers to call in and tell me what they were doing on that day of July 27th, and also speaking about the current political race for power and the closeness and tightness of the race between the PNM and the UNC.
Okay.
I'm speaking on a number of political topics. Anyone you wish to comment on?
But you analyze everything together, and I'll be honest with you, right? We ain't reaching nowhere. Because you see that day of the election, I will celebrate on the 11th or maybe the 10th at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. Who win, who lost.
Well, sir,
right there.
In the opening statement, just give me a chance here. In my opening statement, I said, according to the former Prime Minister, Mr. Basta Upande, election is only won on election day, when the final ballots have been counted.
This was about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock the same night, election day. Anyway, the point I'm making is that you make a statement just now, I would have told it up, but I can't remember what you said. But I only hope and pray if you did make a correct decision on election day. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you for calling in. To the caller who called in before, I said that both the PNM and the UNC, they were very happy with the election poll result. And the margin of error is just +4, -4. And I also said that each party has their own racial line of voters. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Hi. I'm calling to speak on a topic that I think both political parties for decades, right, I believe have a lot to answer for. The topic on migrant workers.
Go ahead. You're speaking about the Venezuelans in particular.
No, I'm speaking about Trinidadians that leave these shores and go to Canada to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm an activist for justice for migrant workers who represent a lot of Trinidadians in Canada. And we are seeing that throughout this pandemic that we have a lot of farms in Canada that over. And we have a situation where we have the negative and positive cases mixed in. And we have a government that recently sent hundreds of Trinidadians over to Canada, where we have farmers that recently got a court, an appeal in the court overthrown, right? Where they could have more than 3 workers in a bunkhouse. But my thing is, we have governments go and come for years that have not touched on these issues, where workers have been enslaved in Canada, and we are talking about Afro and Indian Trinidadians. I would really like to hear something on the platform.
Well, that is for the Minister of Labour to comment on, who have been in hiding.
We have written letters to the Minister of Labour where she has failed to respond. Right? So I really like to hear something on the platform.
Have you considered writing the opposition leader?
I spoke to the representative for Sawa, Saddam Hussein.
So that they can bring it up on their platform when they speak?
Yeah. I think nobody is interested in bringing this topic up. We have a lot of issues pertaining to these migrant workers who are enslaved over there by this contract that Trinidad drafted, right? Well, I shouldn't say drafted, but we took up the contract from Jamaica years ago, right? And we are enslaving our people over there in Canada, right? And I don't think anybody cares. I'm not hearing these issues being addressed.
Go on.
So we have workers that actually get injured in Canada, and the Trinidad government, through the liaison officer, repatriate these workers to Trinidad. We have workers right now, which I'm one of them, right, that are injured in Trinidad and cannot receive medical treatment and cannot work again. And even throughout the COVID.
You are saying that they have no representation?
No representation, because I'm going to tell you this. It's only when you reach Canada you realize that you are not even allowed to unionize. That the Trinidad government have engaged in these contracts whereby you as a citizen of Trinidad are not even able to unionize when you get over there. So we have no representation.
Have you all tried to contact a union about it?
Yes, we have spoken to unions over here about it. And their hands are tied also. But they have been hearing about this for years, for generations. And they have done absolutely nothing to better the situation of these workers.
And people unemployed, they have little chance but to go out and work.
Not a chance. So it's a topic that I will really like
You would like it discussed?
Yeah, I would really like it to be discussed. I would like you all to have a forum on this where migrant workers could call in, ex-migrant workers could call in and give their input, injured workers as well, because you have a lot of workers that went abroad who is living with their injuries back home here. You have workers who even might have died from injuries that they sustained in Canada. And we are not protected by the Trinidad government.
Okay, in the upcoming days, I will see how best I can introduce that topic in our discussions, okay?
We'll appreciate it.
Keep listening in. You could WhatsApp me your number on 378-4975. That is the WhatsApp number for the station. 378-4975.
378
4975. Send your name and your cell number.
75.
Yes.
Sure, I will.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Let's take a top of the hour break, and when we come back, much more on Politics 2020.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Just about 10 minutes after the top of the hour, the final hour of Politics 2020. Let us hear this caller who have been holding for a while. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. A day yesterday as the coup, as they would say.
Yes.
I remember working in Port Spain district in those days, and I was coming on, you will leave town like all 2-3 o'clok, and I really didn't see anything but to talk about because I passed on the highway side, and I come down way down back to Freeport. It's when I reach home and I watch on television, I thought it was a little comic strip or something. But when I saw Abu Bakr there when he said, no VAT on school books, I said, what is this man doing there? And after the ball is a coup and whatnot and this thing and that thing. I think if somebody going to make a coup, the intention that you have, you should do it when you go. I think he failed. I could be wrong. Then the issue about Mr. Robinson stating, a few days after, attack with full force. If you're the head of the police, as they would say, national security in charge, tell the people attack with full force the same day, and then we would have seen what he would have done. But no. When he thought he was dying, I would assume, he ball attack with full force. So he really didn't care about the people. He cared about himself. The next time I see where he cared about himself is when with the Pandey, then with the 1818. When Pandey get more votes than Mr. Manning, when he says that he picked him on moral and spiritual values. How we could know what is in the mind of Mr. Patrick Manning as a spiritual leader? Is he the angel Gabriel? He is not angel Gabriel. He cannot know what is in the mind of nobody. That is why I say again, he's not a fair and just man. I was so glad when he lost the election after 33-3, and the man who put him there, he kicked him out. I was so glad when he lost. And as I would always say, the best prime minister this country I've ever seen is Mr. Basfil Pandey. The second best prime minister this country I've ever seen is Mr. Patrick Manning. And then we will go on to the worst prime minister this country I've ever seen is Dr. Eric Williams. The second worst is A.N. Arthur Napoleon Raymond Nobles. Right? My opinion, I could be 125%.
You have a right to your opinion.
Right. And I'm watching this election.
Where do you place Mistress Kamala Prasad Bisesa?
Well, I think she do as much as she should do in this 5 years. Pandey did plenty more than she did that 5 years. Yeah.
And Dr. Keith Rowley?
I don't have him in the lineup. I don't have him in
But
the lineup.
he's your current prime minister?
Yeah, but I agree with that. But I don't have him in the lineup.
He didn't make the poll then?
No, he cannot make it. In my book, no, he cannot make it at all. Yeah, he cannot make it on either side. On either side. Because you remember, he is the man who said that he never wanted the job. And if you never wanted the job, I think the party should have put him out and put somebody who wanted the job. But the party didn't even do that. So if the party put somebody who don't want the job, which means the party and all they care about the people at Trinidad and Tobago. They care about themselves. As I say, all politicians, partner, caller says, all of them on both sides of the fence. But which one, according to the animals, which one is more equal than equal? It's just like these human beings, which one is more equal than equal. And looking at the poll, I think the poll make a good decision. In the sense that I'm looking at it, and closer to it, it will be more on Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa's side. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at Mr. Duke winning 1 seat in Tobago. I'm looking at Mr. Rowley winning 19 seats in Trinidad, and Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa winning 21 seats.
And where do you put Mr. Jack Warner?
I'm watching at him, yes. I love him to win. I love him. I would say he's the second best parliamentarian I have seen around Trinidad and Tobago. The first is Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj. For me, the second best is Mr. Jack Warner. I love him. I don't know him. I know him by Jack Warner, like I know the president. I see the president. I've spoken to him 1 or 2 times and things. But if I was Kamala, you bring up that point, I would have withdrawn my candidate from there because she can't win it at all. And if I cannot win it, and I wouldn't let PNM win it, I'd put Jack to fight them openly, tooth and nail. And I'm sure Jack going to beat them. Because I have yesterday and day before I walk around that area, not with Jack, with some of my friends and all these sorts of things. And a lot of people who support the UNC is supporting Mr. Jack because they say he's a hard-working man, he helps people and all this sort. Politician is not about getting the $40,000 or $50,000. It's about meeting the people, talking to the people, having a good decision with them and all these sort of things. Like the man with PNM having Tanapuna, Mr. Ford, he also meets a lot of people, talk to them and all these sort of have a night. Night what? So when election day come, you have to walk around and talk to people and tell them vote for me because you've been there for them for 5 years. So what you going to repeat yourself? No. That is how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the 3 seats that they would win. Although yesterday in La Hoqueta Talpao, a man tell me, boy, it's kind of a little tough, but I don't believe it. I feel Jolene John would win the La Hoqueta Talpao seat. That makes 19. I believe the Mahoga Tableland seat, they would win that would make 20. And then I'm looking at the Toko Sanigandi seat, which would give them 21. That is my polling for this week. Next week it might change, it might increase. But that is how I'm looking at it. Last time for the election, I predicted that it was 23-18, and they call me PNM, they call me all kind of things. That's how they calling you today, PNM. It's not whether that's your opinion, you give where you feel is right and where is wrong, but you must give it fair and just in your mind. The people today talking about I only hope I ain't saying too long, about stealing election. I say nobody could steal no election, because if the party put their candidate, another candidate, the polling clerk in the station, they would check the vote with the presiding officer, place it in the box, you write how much it is, and then you get an agent to go where they check in the putting with the box. So nobody cannot interfere with the box because it's a sealed box and you will open there and you open it. So nobody can tease no election. I do agree with that. But both sides of the fence will ball that. That is not true at all. I worked here from a clerk to a presiding officer to a roving officer. No, I don't ever do it again. I find that too much I work for too little bit of money. And then that I don't do it no more, so I just forget it. But nobody could steal no election. I could be wrong. It's not like Guyana. We cannot compare Guyana with it. The man in Guyana, he should leave and step down. He's a wicked man. And God would deal with him just as how he would deal with me. But when you've been unfair to thousands of people, God would deal with you more serious than how you deal with me. I thank you ever so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your call. 636-7547, 2275739. As that caller mentioned Moruga Table, and I wanted to go and talk about that seat a little bit. Hello, good afternoon.
That gentleman is totally wrong about nobody could see the election.
Well, he have his opinion.
In 1906, in a polling station, an entire box was spoiled ballots. All. Not one good one. They tore out the whole thing with the voter's name and the vote and put it in a box. If they went for vigilance and say, wait a minute, what's happening here? They wouldn't have seen a spoiled ballots.
But don't you think
so,
from then to now, things would have improved?
No, not at all. Even so, although they were spoiled ballots, they did not contest it. And the gentleman who won the seat with those spoiled ballots remained in Parliament and later became a Prime Minister. So tell me what that this thing will happen. And next thing, people talking about 1990 and the disaster. Well, I want to show people something, Look at what happened in Italy, in Spain, in America, and the same thing could be happening right here in Trinidad. That virus is here with us now, in the population. Maraval, Arima, where else? Nobody knows. And I am saying, people wake up and realize that it is here, and we are supposed to be using those 12 vessels to peruse those waters and stop those Zennies from coming here. And if the Prime Minister refused to do it, but it's our election coming, put somebody else who will do it, because at the end of the day, I think that virus come to ask who is PNM and who is UNC. That virus asks you who is PNM, UNC, COP, or ILP, or anything. That virus taken from a side. And if all they think is joke what happened in America, Trinidad, watch out. Thank you much.
Thank you very much. 636-7547, 2275739. Good afternoon. Yes, welcome.
There are no journalists in this country could do an investigation and then try to vote them.
Well, on Friday, didn't I lay out for you all the 12 votes that they were put down? I told you, I described the boat and what they were, the services and so on.
What I'm trying to say is that to get Stuart Young or whoever is responsible for that boat to say something concerning the boat and why it can be outside there or what happened to it. So it's a lieutenant or somebody, that's why I'm talking about. Somebody go and do an interview with the people and show me the boat. Do an interview. You see, they could work or you can't work. What kind of journalists we have? These are things for them to be looking at and talking about and telling people these things. And everybody keep harping on the 12 vote 12. I too want to know if they could go in the water. And nobody is saying nothing. Later.
Okay, later. On Friday, if you had missed my program, I went into some detail in describing these boats and what they were capable of doing. And of course, they came into the country in working condition. Where they are now, I cannot say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You know, it is very easy to establish illegal people from in Trinidad. Whether you housing them or what.
And you know, caller, this have been going on for a couple of years now. It is not today.
I would have put up $50,000 once you hosting them to buy a house or whatnot. You own them. I put up with $50,000, $100,000. Anyway, I heard you talk about the Minister of Labour.
Yes.
How much people she send in Canada by truck? Could you remind me 5 years back?
Well, she indicated that she would make plans. She did indicate she would make plans. If she had, I'm not aware.
I just wondering how much, if she come on the platform next week or this week, then she tell me how much did she send. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. As I said earlier, the Moruga, you continue to call me if you want to speak about the coup or COVID or any other topic, but I want to deal a bit with the Moruga table and see that is on the margin. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ann.
Hello, Eric.
Hi. Listen, I kind of joined your program kind of late, but I know you were speaking about 1990 earlier on.
Yes, I was asking people who can remember what they were doing on that day or that moment when they found out there was a coup to let me know. One man was cooking a 150 bus of shot roti for a wedding. Those things are interesting.
And a friend told me that her brother has gotten married the same weekend still. I said, wow.
And the wedding went on.
Yeah, the wedding went on.
Went on.
Nothing to stop the wedding.
Nothing to stop the wedding.
There are two things I would tell you. Around the time, at least the time preceding 1990, I had been associated with a group in Port of Spain, and on that day, they was going to discuss in Parliament the result of Keller Richardson's sojourn. He went on a trip to find out all of the different forms of corruption that was done by the PNM.
Yes.
And he came back to the Parliament more or less to have the debate, and the debate was taking place. And a few of us were supposed to be there. The individual who is now deceased, he was known then as Ricardo Welch. He later became Gladiator. I was supposed to have met him there in the Parliament that day, and my good friend Clive Donnell would have been there also, but he didn't make it either, just like me, because I had some vocational issues in Point Jesus, and by the time I got back to my own in Chagonas, it was rather late. So there was only one radio station that young people listened to at that time, which was 610 Action Radio.
Right.
So I thought it like this, and I put on 610 Radio, and then I heard someone saying, there appears to be a transformer fire somewhere around by police headquarters. And I said, no, there's a man in the street with a gun in his hand, he's threatening people. So instinctively, I called my friend at OWT House of the People on Charlotte Street. His name was Paul Eugene, he's deceased now also. So I said, Paul, what's going on? And he said to me, who's this? I said, yes. He said, boy, Abu Bakr take over Essen Town. And that's when I knew what had happened in 1990. That's what I knew had happened in 1990.
What were the first thoughts that came to your mind at that moment?
Well, the first thought that came to my mind is that we were really and truly in for it, But then as the hours went by, roughly around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, I heard on the news that Captain Peter Joseph had taken a battalion into Port of Spain. And the talk around town was that if Peter Joseph had gotten into Port of Spain with his men, there was no way Abu Bakr and his crew was leaving any of those places alive. Because Peter Joseph was someone who they actually feared. They knew he was one of the serious tacticians in the army. Right? He later became brigadier and all of that. We know that now, right? But the fact is that once Captain Peter Joseph and then he had a counterpart called, I think, Mr. Bishop, once they had surrounded the Red House, we knew that the insurgents would have been staying there. They would not have been leaving there. We knew it for sure. So that was more or less 1990 for me. It was one of those times that I guess nobody really and truly wanted to relive because it was not an easy time. I missed being in Parliament that day because I had some vocational issues at Point Jesus, and by the time I reached back to Chagonas, I was told that I'm not going to Parliament.
Fate save you.
Well, I don't know if it saved me, because Ricardo had told me of the exit from there, which was quite horrific, how he got out of the Parliament with everything that was taking place, after he told me what had happened. So it was really and truly one of those times that I guess nobody wants to relive. We know that the Attorney General at the time, Mr. Smart, he had to escape from there with the two ladies,
Yes.
And they didn't recognize him. He took off his glasses and his jacket, he said, and then he escaped with them. eventually what happened...
That time was
I think,
every man for himself. You're trying to save
according to
yourself.
news reports, eventually what happened is that Surajratan Rambachan, who was a senator, so he wasn't supposed to be in the lower house, he was out of the parliament that day, and he got on to Camp Ogden, along with a few other ministers. I think it would have been Carson Charles, it would have been Clive Panton. I think they brought Clive Panton from his home today because he was also a senator and not sure, so he's supposed to be in the lower house. Clive Panton and Lincoln Myers, who was not in the house, although he was supposed to be there. A few of them got together at Camp Ogden, and that was the civilian authority that was given instruction to the army as to how to proceed and what to do. Well, eventually, as we know, the coup went on the siege went on for 6 days,
yes,
and eventually it ended. But it was not the best time for Trinidad and Tobago. And all the persons were saying, that those insurgents were not supposed to leave their lives. I am kind of happy with the way in which things ended, because at the end of the day, we were able to save the ministers from the parliament that day. And in other countries where these things happen, it is not likely that it happens that way.
That they will come out alive.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. There was one account with that when Bilal Abdullah, who was in charge of the parliament of insurgents, he told Mr. Robinson that your government has fallen. He gave him the radio and he said, surrender your government. And he said that was the time, that was the stellar moment when Mr. Robinson said that these are murderers and torturers attacked with full force. And then Bilal shot him in his leg because they were shocked that he would have said that at that point in time. He stood up and he said that he was not going to surrender his government. So that was 1990, and here we are today, still surviving. Of
course.
But there's a song I wanted to play. Some people confuse the song 1990 by David Rudder as the song for that 1990. But the song that David Rudder actually sang in relation to what took place in 1990 was a song that said it was the night of Hussein. It was the night that they say that the martyrs died. Strange dogs were barking deep in the night. That is the song that you need to play for.
What is the name? What is the name of it?
I think it might be the Night of Hussein. Some just might guide me better, but it was sung in 1991. You understand?
I will look for it. I'll
right?
try.
The song 1990 was sung in January 1990, and then the coup took place in July of 1990. So that had no association with it, right? So the one that he sang in 1991, which said it was the night of Hussein. It was the night when they said that the martyrs died. Strange dogs were barking, referring to Abu Bakr. Strange dogs were barking deep in the night. That is the song that you're playing, Inspector David Rudder. Okay?
I will look for it, Eric. Thank you.
Anne.
Thank you for calling. Let us take a short commercial break, and when we come back, you can continue calling in. Let us squeeze in this caller before the break. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, family. How are you going?
Very well. How are you?
Carolyn?
Anne.
Oh, sorry. There's a problem here, Santa Cruz. We had some rain today all over Trinidad.
Okay, thank God for the rain.
All right, Natty. Well, God have to do your work and we have to do your work. So good. Let me pick up my crew listening to all you. Kamal, Valsin, Sunil, Lanfil, Rodney Ramganis, Anand Marja, Setan, Prabhu. We'll make some nice Karaili later.
Okay, take care. Thank you, caller. Let us take a short commercial break and we will be right back.
The voice of the PNM. July 29th. Tune in to all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for our community campaign meetup, streaming from St. James, Port of Spain, from 8 p.m. PNM is the choice. Feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley as he sets out the national plan for recovery, stability, and opportunity, and a powerful lineup of speakers.
It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police.
On July 29th. Tune in, click, like, share, and vote PNM on August 10th. Great is the PNM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is the choice. PNM is the voice. PNM all the way on election day. It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police. Hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Just about 25 minutes before the top of the hour, let us return back to the phone lines. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity for giving my next minute. Everybody is entitled to their views. And the caller who says about stealing the election, if he had the opportunity of going there where the presiding officer would be presenting the vote, the vote card in front of you to say whether it's PNM, whether it's UNC, and just now or anybody, and it has been recorded. But it's recorded and everything, they will tell you whether it's a spoil vote, whether it goes to PNM, whether it goes to UNC or whosoever it is. At the end of the counting now, everybody would see it, all the clerks and who is inside here for the different agencies and for the different party would see it and would agree or disagree if they don't agree. After this is counted, it is taped and they sign it. And when they sign it on the box then leave with an agent of the PNM, an agent of the UNC and the police officer. So how they could interfere with the box? If I am working for NJAC and here I am, and I see somebody from PNM or UNC or now or anybody interfering, I would object immediately. But it doesn't. Where the box would go, where everybody would count it. I don't see how it. And if there is spoil vote, they also register the spoil vote. So you would have in your paper the polling agent for the candidate, how much votes they get, how much they didn't get. And you would be in a position to know whether it is right or wrong. And as the caller says about happening in Haiti and all these sort of things, this COVID virus is not now. It is more than 2 years. I believe that, in my opinion, I could be wrong. It would go for more than 2 years. I think half the people in the world may finish, including myself. Who knows? When God ready for you, you cannot do nothing. This COVID virus is finishing now. They're talking about second spell and third spell and fourth spell. All these spell would come, and more the people gather up is more COVID before we enter that. So it is nothing about that. Election would come and it would go. And one party would win, or either one of them would win. But I only hope the party that really want to help the people of Trinidad and Tobago and see to it that the poor class get what they get, and not one person getting $100,000 a month as a rubber stamp and just a sign. I think that person shouldn't be even in the Constitution. And the Constitution also change to have it like America, who get the most with the election. We wouldn't know party. If they want to fix, if Kamala win in power, she want to fix the Paria and she want to fix Cuba and want to fix here. And if PNM win, they want to fix Port of Spain. No. But the person would rather fix Trinidad and Tobago and not the people who is voting for him. That would be better for the people. Them politicians.
Hello, are you still there, sir? Okay, we lost that caller there. But just to note, Eric, I found that song there with David Rod. I'll play it as I'm going out. It's called Jose. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon, 97.5 family.
Hello,
and I listened attentively today to the press conference with the Minister of Health.
Mm-hmm.
And a reporter from the Express or the news, I stand to be corrected, asked a question to the Minister of Health, indicating that all the COVID-19 cases thus far as was recorded was imported. And the reporter asked, if all that was reported as imported COVID-19 cases, then Minister, can you tell us how come we are picking up people right now in communities that was not out of the country, never went for a vacation anyway? You know what was the response of the Minister of Health? He said that we have it under control. I don't think I will buy that argument by saying that it is under control. I think that this government is right now being lackadaisical in not standing up and saying, you know what, we need to revert back to how we was 2-3 months ago. Because if you are telling us that up to this morning a gentleman who was a delivery driver was sick for the past 6-7 days or whatever and got tested, and
God knows how many persons he came in contact with.
And after listening to that press conference, I was saying, oh my God, we need to go back to where we was when we first started this pandemic, when the Prime Minister made the announcement that COVID-19 is in the Caribbean. And then we came to the lockdown. I'll tell you why. If this government right now, and the Minister of Health and the CMO, all the good that they have done, and all the good that they have done within the past 3 months to have this country safe from COVID-19, it will come to naught right now. You know why? They are taking too long to revert back to have us protected. Because when you look at the map that was shown on Facebook from CNC3, the type of connection that these people had connected with in north, south, central, east, west, and everything, it is frightening to see that how many more people may turn up to be COVID-19 positive, and how many people maybe have it and afraid to go and be tested to get into quarantine. So it is something that we really, I mean, I can't change anybody's mind from voting who they want to vote for this election. I'm not going to talk about election, right? Because that is
COVID have nothing
important.
to do with election.
The COVID is way far more important at this particular time because it's a matter of lives, not a matter of choice. It's a matter of lives you're trying to save. And I think that the government right now, together with the CMO, I am making a call. Revert back to how it was 3 months ago, and let us try to contain this COVID-19 in a proper way, because what's happening in America, it was a lack of leadership. And I think that the leadership now in this country has fallen, and we will be paying a price for this COVID-19. Have a pleasant, wonderful evening.
Larry, hello?
Yeah?
Before you leave, just like when COVID was just recognized and they didn't want to shut off Carnival, you remember that?
Yes.
But they were very well aware that COVID was existent in the country since January month.
And if you go back and play today's news press conference,
you can see when it was signed by the president.
No. Yeah, but Anne, listen, go back and search today's press conference with that question being posed to the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health and the CMO know how these people get COVID-19, you know. They know, you know, they just don't want to inform the public to have the public
in
on
the same light, I am saying because of elections, they would not want.
Yeah, because everything is about election and party and red and blue.
Revert there.
Yeah, I am not going to talk about election. COVID is more important right now than election because at the end of the day, if I get in contact with somebody who is sick, I could die from it. And I try to protect myself, trying to make an honest living. I am one of these essential workers, as we would say. But I'm making a call. The Minister of Health, together with the CMO, you all need to revert back. According to one of your callers said, maxi taxis full to capacity, PTSD bus full to capacity. I'm seeing people throughout today as normal as ever and without masks. People stop walking in by business place and washing their hands. Every business place has provided a sink with a hand sanitizer soap, a liquid soap, and people are not using it. So here what's going to happen, Anne? In a short space of time, you will see more of these COVID-19 positive cases popping up, and then it will be too late. That is why I'm making the call, and I'm making the call. I'm marking today's date and making the call. You know why? It is very important that people understand. The election is in the air. Campaign is going on. And when you watch of these people in the campaign trail, none of them wearing masks, and they're shaking up your hand, and they're hugging you up, and they're dancing with you. Come on, people, be real. COVID-19 is come to kill, and if you're not serious about it, well, bye-bye to you. But, Anne, I make the call. I hope that the Minister and the CMO is listening at this particular time. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. 636-7547-227-5739. Remember, just after the 6 o'clock news, Mukesh Baburam is up next. Hello, good afternoon.
And let me explain this thing I talked about earlier. A gentleman disputed me. I was a candidate agent in that election. Duly authorized by election, the Boundaries Commission, to enter the polling station and do what I had to do. This box, this entire ballot box was filled with votes where the voter was identified with the ballot paper. In other words, the perforated part was not torn out. It is only because of that it was found to be a spoiled ballot. That's why we identified it. If they had time to detach it, we wouldn't have known anything. That would have gone through like nothing. When it was found and we would have protested, they said, okay, we'd have to go to court to have it nullified. We did not go to court. So what I'm saying is not a fiction, it's not the old talk. I was there. I know what happened. Our entire ballot box was filled with the voter identified with the ballot paper. They didn't tear off the part. If they had torn it off, we would have never known what happened there. So don't tell me this can't be done. It happened. I was there and I saw it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I promised to speak about the constituency of Moruga Tabland, but let us go to this caller first. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, finally.
Finally.
Only I'm working real hard. But
we have an active show. Go ahead.
Yes. All right, first thing, July 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I in 1990? During that week, there was a regional disability conference at the University of the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
So we were up there, a lot of us, about 30-something people from Trinidad, Tobago, and Eastern Caribbean, and even part of Latin America, Nicaragua included. And on the said evening, when we had signed off the official part of the meeting, we were preparing ourselves to go to have a little relaxation, a dinner at what was then Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people start to get ready, think. And all of a sudden, one of my comrades listened to football, because we had a local football on at the same time. South Caribbean Cup. And I jokingly asked the fella, I said, what happened to you, boy? Why you make the man in the radio hush? So he said, no, boy, something happened. And same time, somebody had called me. We had an interpreter, a Spanish interpreter, and he said, boy, I can't come up the road to have Bacchanal in tongue. You understand? But the people got ready, most of them. I was halfway ready. And I had to go and tell the people who had boarded the bus, because remember, it's different persons with different disabilities. So some would take longer than some to board the bus. And I had to go and tell them, look, unfortunately, there's a problem in tongue, and you need to get off the buses, because the police have to go back to base. And we were waiting for Panorama News. We heard Panorama Steel Band. And then all of a sudden, we heard Abubakar come on the TV, because there was one TV station at the time, to say, well, government has been overthrown, such things. 610 Radio and Radio Trinidad were the two operating radio stations at that time. Radio Trinidad had gone off the air. 610 Radio, Dennis McComey, who was on duty at that time, he actually kicked down the library door to get music, because he had to run shift. And so 610 was the only station on the air at the time. On Saturday, well, I don't know who spread rumors that we have some hungry, starving, disabled people. Girls, the amount of doubles, the amount of pilau. You know the cashew nuts, expensive bottles and cans?
Yes.
All of that come true. But we didn't keep it all. What we did, we had the Barbadian and the Jamaican football team as a South Caribbean Cup was going on. And they occupied different halls at UB. And we shared with them. You understand? So we weren't alone in this. And by Sunday, when the airport was reopened, we tried to get most of the foreign delegates back to their respective territories, because there was some place operating. And I personally left there the Wednesday after everybody had left. You know, being coordinator, I had to make sure that everything went
Everybody, well. Yes, was safe.
So that was July 27, 1990 for us. And I remember one of my colleagues was in the House of Parliament, Dr. Hussein, Dr. Emmanuel Hussein. He's never a person with a disability, and he had to treat with all the patients and all those who were wounded and stuff like that. And when he reached Captain Wadi, he said, well, it was horrible. Anyhow, coming back to the next step, COVID-19. And I don't know if you remember, when the president declared COVID-19 on January 31st, somebody in the opposition asked that this matter be debated as a matter of public importance. And that was turned down, true or false?
True.
Right. Because the UNC wanted to get their input into COVID-19 from early. The PNM said, well, it should speak up because the speaker is appointed by the ruling party in any situation. And they said, no, that was not a matter of public importance because Carnival was around the corner. And if the UNC had suggested, well, look, let's put up Carnival or whatever, there would have been huge losses to a lot of people. So they decided to go and do with the party. And you know what the story ended up after. By the 12th of March, we got our first case. And now we're seeing a situation where we're getting what we call
community spread. Well,
Right.
that is why I ask if the situation is the same. Like they did not want to postpone Carnival. Is it the same with the election?
Well, this election is a strategy, in my humble opinion, because you know the last government demitted office on September the 7th. The Constitution is quite clear. You have 5 months. You have 5 years, sorry. And you could go 90 days extra. In one of his inserts, the Prime Minister said that he could call election until he have until December the 23rd to call election.
Mm-hmm.
Rightly or wrongly, right? But we know that if it's September, 90 days after will be early December. You understand? Now, I don't know, and then you're saying you're not opening the borders, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, but yet you're planning ahead. You know, I love my cricket, I love my cricket. For CPL, now you're saying the people could come in and quarantine in 7 days' time and they could be released, correct?
Yeah.
But if even we get the election observers from CARICOM to come between now and Friday, you understand? Is that shorter?
Today's the deadline if they have to come
No.
in.
What I'm saying, they could have given them the same 7 days.
The 7 days quarantine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because what is good for one,
Good for all, and I'm
good
sure
for
they
all.
would have relevant testing being done.
of course, and monitoring and that kind of stuff. So even if they're coming by weekend, like we say Friday, Saturday for the latest, they would have sufficient time. They would have the 7 days required to be quarantined. Correct?
Well, just like Delcy.
Well, Delcy never get quarantined.
Well, that's why I say the Commonwealth observers. They can come in just like Delcy,
Yeah.
unchecked.
But the situation is that a lot of strategies went into this whole thing of election. Election could be held in October, November, and maybe with a new budget, people would have seen the day of life. Because any government coming, any party coming in now will have a challenge on their hands to going forward. It is not an easy thing to manage at this time. You understand? So they could have maintained the status quo and call election November, December. In relation to look what will happen with the exams now. Some students will get to write the exams at a later date, according to the Minister of Education. Thank God he on the way out. But the thing is that what is good for one should be good for all. Some people recommended that these things should have been held in October and start a new term in January and cut down on all these social activities like pre-Carnival, because we know, Anne, that the week before Carnival, literally school is out. Even from Ash Wednesday, literally school is out. So you lost 10 days technically. But you could have cut down on the social activities and say, look, in light of, we need to make up and use this period to make up. If you want to get them Carnival Friday for them to have a school frolic, if you're having Carnival, that is, fair enough. But when you have competition here and competition there and all kind of drama, nobody produces. The least productive time in this country is Carnival time and Christmas time. I think I've said a mouthful. And
Thank you for your contribution. And thank God you got through. Thank you, Bawani. Listen, we have to wind up the show now, but I promised to speak about Moruga Tablan on the margin, and maybe tomorrow I will deal with this. Any constituency that has a difference in vote between the first and second candidate within 3,000 is considered a marginal constituency, okay, listeners? And Moruga Tablan is one of them. Having in the last election, The PNM winning the seat by just over 500 votes. Just wanted to state some of the basic problems in Moruga Tableland continues to be water, unemployment, attention by their member of parliament, not seeing their MPs, and not satisfied with the quality and level of service of their member of parliament. Good afternoon.
And I stuck this on the UNC part because Moruga, the fall under the Princeton Regional Corporation.
Yes, it does.
UNC Corporation. And you know what? Dr. Audi go on now and set up in Moruga to get those votes.
Moruga Tableland is bounded by Mayaro in the east, Princestown, and Naparima in the north.
Sit down and wait for Dr. Audi to come and take them votes from under the nose.
And you know they have Siparia in the west and the Columbus Channel to the south.
Yes. So while they had the corporation, they lose the seat because they're still only twiddling the thumbs. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Let us end this program, and we thank all callers and all listeners and all viewers for their views on the 1990 coup. Thank you for sharing your experiences with me. Thank you to everyone who have texted also on WhatsApp. We end today's program by this song by David Rudder. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Mukesh Baburam is next.
That it shows and goes to Canada to vote. Right? I'm an activist for justice for migrant people who represent a lot of Trinidadians in Canada. And we have seen that throughout this pandemic that we have a lot of
where something red was the popular cry, and like the pavements and streets, they were filled with envy, because by morning light they were covered with our blood. I tell you, not one soul here escaped the frenzy. You know, sometimes you gamble in peace, and wild is the joker, and sometimes the sight of the moon just rise up the lost, the hungry, the mad. These are the troubled times that we have down in Trinidad. Because under the crescent moon and above the bloody asphalt, strange dogs were barking deep in the night. Under the crescent moon, I say the drums were silent, but somehow the rhythm continued. Oh, what a sight on the night of the day. It was the night of the day. Oh, the night when they say that the martyrs died. Fame, yes, we're famous as hell. Why don't you know we're a star? At long last we have made it. Star, like that star in the moon, shining over the tomb. Dance the moon, you can't fade it. Come on, dance, brother, dance. But death is your drummer.